Americans should never fear their government that would come in and punish them for simply exercising their religious beliefs. But that's what we have.
I specialize in wedding cakes and custom designed cakes.
We owned a bakery. Actually, it was more of a custom designed cake shop. Everything was a made to order, specifically designed as the customer wanted.
We really like to make it very specific to each individual couple.
Question: is there a magnet at the threshold of your business which takes away all your constitutional rights once you cross over that threshold? Well, tragically, many Christians in the wedding industry of late have been told that they must participate in celebrating same-sex weddings, regardless of conscience concerns, or they'll be forced out of business, or worse.
January 2013, we had a girl and her mom come in requesting us to do her wedding cake. Return customer. When I learned what the cake was for, I couldn't in good conscience take part in it. It was something that flew right in the face of what the Bible defined as marriage.
Aaron politely declined. That was not something they were able to support with their beliefs. And soon thereafter, they found themselves the target of a long administrative proceeding in Oregon, and ultimately were penalized $135,000 plus for simply declining some business because their faith would not allow them to continue to do that.
Because of the boycotting, the demonstrations that happened, everything that's gone on, we've lost our storefront. We've lost what was our main source of income for our family.
We've been accused of, or called a hater, a bigot, every name that you can possibly think of in the book. At first, I won't lie, it really hurt and it really hit me hard because it was like, how am I a hater? In 2015, the Bureau of Labor and Industries ruled against us. They said that we had discriminated against the two girls, and they charged us with $135,000 in emotional damages.
The $135,000 fine went to the lesbian couple to compensate for the supposed emotional damages Sweet Cakes caused them. Here is a list of the nearly 80 alleged symptoms the couple claims they experienced because Sweet Cakes would not bake their cake.
You add the damages on top of that the state could impose, and yeah, I could file, I could lose my house, I could file bankruptcy, it could, and we're not talking about two people that owned a multi-million-dollar business. We're talking about a husband and wife that owned a small shop that supported their 5 kids.
Furthermore, the state of Oregon slapped a gag order on the Kleins, mandating that they could not even discuss what had happened to them. But what about the 2018 Supreme Court decision involving a similar case, the Masterpiece Cake Shop out of Denver? First Liberty is appealing to the Supreme Court to hear the Klein case in light of the Masterpiece decision.
We are preparing an appeal to the United States Supreme Court on behalf of Aaron and Melissa Klein, our clients there in Oregon. We're hopeful that the Supreme Court will take this case and sort of address a much larger issue about the ability to run your business according to your faith, to not be compelled to speak a message with which you sincerely disagree, which is a broader issue than I think the Masterpiece opinion really highlighted.
The hardest thing for me, I think, would be that I lost my shop, and I lost something that I really loved doing and had a lot of joy with. I would definitely say it's been the hardest thing. I had so many regular customers that came in that that I built relationships with, and I miss that interaction with them.